Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is your host Nas. Today I'm going to share with you, as promised, part 2 of my sleep paralysis story. If you have missed part 1, please feel free to refer back to my channel for part 1 of the story. Also, as it was such a long time ago, I hope you would forgive me for any discrepancy found in the story. Without further ado, let's go! Hypnic jerk. Have you ever felt fallen off the bed in your sleep, or suddenly woke up from it, or even feels like you falling off from a high place? I do. This may not be related to sleep paralysis, but similar, as I have been experiencing it hand in hand with sleep paralysis and stopped having this event at a later part, but let's not spoil it for now. Some of these falling off the bed hypnic jerks woke me, and I can remember that they have something to do with the dream inception, the out-of-body levitation, and astral projection from part 1 of this story. For example, when I was having a dream inception episode from my living room to my room, I would suddenly fall through the ground and wake up. For the out-of-body levitation situation, I would keep feeling the 360-degree rotation until it ends abruptly, and I would feel the gravitational force pull me down to my bed, and I would wake up abruptly. As for astral projection, when the time is up, I would uncontrollably fall off the high rooftop and wake up from it. There are also various types of hypnic jerk dreams that causes me to wake up, such as simple dreams like falling off the bed as well, but in reality, I didn't fall. Interestingly, this hypnic jerk stopped repeating after what happened in the story below. I will share with you. I just thought that it is interesting to share this portion of hypnic jerk, as it would help solidify what I'm experiencing could not simply be explained by science. Have any of you experienced hypnic jerk? Feel free to share your story or what you were dreaming of when it happened. Bedbound. This happened when I'm already 16 years old and I decided to change my bed location. Again? This time I decided to shift the bed back to when I wasn't sleeping alone. The reason is, back then, I never had a bad sleep at the location. I'm so done with all the weird things happening to me, and I have no one that could share the pain or help me with it, so I could only help myself by experimenting with stuff that could help. Initially, my legs were facing the main windows while I'm sleeping, but through the night, it always felt ticklish on my feet. It's just plain annoying, and I know it is the work of some paranormal at the doing, so I decided to sleep with my head towards the window to see what could happen. This is where things got worse compared to what happened to all the previous sleep paralysis encounters. Almost every night, I would experience that my face and head feeling a sense of oppression pressure, and in my ears, I would feel like having a flight through the sky but with a worse feeling of ear pressure. During the event, I would try to move my arms and try to push away the invisible force that was likely to be above my head due to the discomfort, but to no avail, because my hands and bodies would be bound and I can't move even though I'm using force. At the same time, my eyes were not able to fully open to see the situation happening, and I'm only able to sneak peek. Initially, this paranormal event would stop after I struggled for a while and I would just go back to sleep, but it gradually got worse and manifested things that happened physically. Since this happens during the period that I have my important examinations, I'm stressed out enough and so done with this nonsense that I'm prepared to confront this paranormal stuff that has been happening to me. I tell myself that I would struggle relentlessly to give a good punch to this entity if they were to disturb me. Very often, I would struggle from this bedbound until the event stopped. But one day, I began to be able to start moving my arms and swing them at my window, which was where I feel the source of oppression is coming from, and hit the railing of the window. Whenever that happens, the oppression would stop. It happened so often that my mom started to question me about what happened during the night as she heard me hitting the window railing. I just give her a reply that I'm being disturbed by paranormal entities, and she would have a half belief and half suspicion that what I said is true. Even though this is not the first time I have encountered such things at home, she probably thought that I'm going crazy from my studies, and maybe I am. This event gradually got worse until one fine day that this entity started to show up as a shadow cloud floating above my head while I was feeling a stronger sense of oppression from it, as if it is trying to control me and show authority that it has control over me. Its plan definitely backfired fired on it. While it has increased its oppression ability, I have somehow also unknowingly gained the ability to deal with it and have no fear of it. I started to scold vulgar language at it while I was struggling to unbound myself from its binding, and my rage was also at its peak as I'm pretty much done and finally know how this entity looks like. In my head I said, "You want to play with me? You effing idiot. I'll play with you. Once I can move my arms, you are going to taste my punch." Though these are not the exact words I used that day, it holds the same exact meaning of my rage. This rage energy somehow works at its peak, and I was finally able to swing my left arm, and once again, like always, my knuckle hit the window railing. I got off the bed partially looking out the window, and in my mind I was saying, "You better don't come back again. I'll make sure the next time now you'll suffer more." This is what I said in my heart. Since that day, I stopped having this bed-bound feeling, and I had a pretty pleasant sleep as well. It seems like what I have been experiencing the whole time was the doing of this paranormal entity, what I call the shadow cloud. Also, I have sort of acquired a special power to repel this sort of entity. It is like a superpower that is useless unless I need it for the purpose of repelling, this invisible stuff. I've heard that once you don't have fear for these entities, they will start fearing you. I guess it is a process of growing up. I will also say I stopped encountering paranormal events that often, or rather I lost the ability to see them, but I can still sense them. I'll share how my sensing works on them in the other stories. What do you think about my paranormal story? I really hope my viewers like it as well as have a first-person view of what I have been through. Feel free to ask me any question that I might have missed out on in this story. I'll share with you more of my encounters with other paranormal activities in the near future on my channel. So remember to like, subscribe and hit on the notification bell if you enjoy the story so that you can get notified of the latest story. Thank you.